Welcome everybody, Retro Python here. It's been a while, a couple months, a lot going on. Bought a house, baby on the way, COVID a few times. Anyway, I digress. Right around Thanksgiving time, Retroflag introduced two new cases for the RetroPie. The GPI case 2, which improves greatly on the original GPI case, and for the first time in its lineup, a PlayStation type case, including an LCD. So these are two videos that'll be coming up shortly. Today we're going to focus on a Pistation. GPI 2 case is very cool. It works with the compute module, Raspberry Pi 4, so you'll be able to play those Super NES Mode 7 games that you couldn't really play any other one. It's great screen. It has a rechargeable battery now. You won't burn through those AA batteries. We'll create a video on this right after this Pistation one. And, it's a great case. Pick it up. The Pistation case, awesome. I've created a Raspberry Pi version of the PlayStation Classic. I've done a Hakshi version of the PlayStation, so this will be my third PlayStation Mini. This one will be a little special, though. It comes with a screen. I can make it portable. I'm sure you could add a battery pack to this if you want. Let's get started. All right, so head over to retroflag.com. You have all their cases here. Joysticks, game pads, tons of stuff. Here's the Pistation case that we're going to be working on today. You could get one without the LCD or one with the LCD. I'm not sure if they sell the LCD separately. I haven't seen it. Go to Amazon shop. There's a GPI case, $90. Super Pi case, $90 with the LCD, $29 without the LCD. So I don't know if they have plans to sell just the LCD. You can get it separate if you don't want the LCD. But ours has it, so let's play around with it. All right, let's open this bad boy up. This thing is solid. It's made very well. How do you get in this thing? Please remove the SD card before installing. Of course, I've broken quite a few in other cases. How does this screen come off? Safe shutdown on off. Thumb screws. Let's open up the tools, see what we got. Nope, they only give me a Phillips head. Let me see if I can get these off. Let me get a flathead. It's on it pretty good. Oops. So it turns to micro HDMI to full HDMI, which is great. It's a Pi 4B with a 1 terabyte drive on it. Should be enough to fit about 1,700 PlayStation games, all regions. Looks like it goes in upside down. Put the USB in. Guessing. Put the GPIO header in. The pins are a little bent. What the hell's going on? I've used this for something else, so the header pins are a little bent. A little force will get it on. There we go. I think I'm going to have to swap the USB cable here. I think there's a little slot for it. Yeah, wrong one. There we go. Let's get the screws out. To hold your Pi in, use the little black screws it comes with. There's one screw you got to leave out on the Pi because it gets attached via the case through that screw hole. So it's the bottom left in this case. That's the one you got to leave empty. These are the silver screws. Put our memory card back in there. Again, this is 1 terabyte. This is my image that I made myself based on my Dreamcast image. Got about 1,700 plus games in there. Pretty cool. Let the lid opens. You can store some stuff in there. This is very well made. Solid as a tank. All right, let's take a closer look. This thing is really made well. Retroflag makes some great cases. If you don't have their other cases, you got to get them. They're phenomenal. I think they pretty much started the mini revolution once they started releasing their cases. This one is no different than the others. Got the ports on the side if you want to use network or maybe throw a USB keyboard or something. This is the PlayStation Mini, or Classic, I believe they call it. You can see the Retroflag case is even smaller than the Classic, which is tiny. Retroflag may be a little bigger. The one thing I don't like about the Retroflag is if you are going to use the PlayStation Classic controllers, the USB ports are upside down, so you lose that little effect of the controller, the end of the controller. It's upside down. But I'm going to use my 8-bit Classic controllers anyway. You can see how much difference in size they are. Retroflag weighs probably twice as much because PlayStation Classic, there's just nothing to it. Let's put the screen back on. So the screen does make the micro HDMI into a full HDMI. Once you plug that HDMI port in, the screen goes black, so you won't have any dual screen video. Just screwing the screen back in, it's easier to do off camera, so I can get my leverage. There it is. Awesome device. All right, let's head over to a PC. We're going to open up our web browser, navigate to the URL that's on the instructions. There's all the instructions here. Make sure you have internet. You want to use the wget command. I'm not going to do it from the RetroPie. I'm going to do it from my terminal. So I'm just going to log in. Okay, we'll just copy this little command here. I'm not doing, oops. So make sure you're doing the right one. I was doing a recall box and we clearly have RetroPie on it. There we go. Always check your work. That's it. My Pi is now rebooting. You can't see it, but it is. Trust me. All right, let's fire this thing up and see how it performs in the real world. So this has my custom RetroPython PlayStation Mini theme on it. It's modeled after my Dreamcast theme, which seemed to be pretty popular with you guys. You're going to get a blacked out screen until it finally gets to the UI. You're not going to see any kind of fonts or anything. No intros. I chose to go right to the UI. Then when you load the game, that's when you get the classic PlayStation intro. I didn't use the spinning disc in the tray like I did with the Dreamcast. I figured that was a novelty and kind of wore off for me pretty quickly. Cool, but kind of wore off. So here we are. We're treated to the UI. It's a standard UI I like to use with the images of the consoles and then the art. The PAL. Also, just the selection screen. It's only got two things on it, settings and the PlayStation, so I modeled it after the PlayStation settings UI. The spine art is different for NTSC, PAL, and Japanese games. So that's a kind of tell the difference. Let's load up the PlayStation mascot, the Mario Sonic, if you will, of the PlayStation, Mr. Crash Bandicoot. One more over. I'm on a weird angle. It's hard for me to see what I'm doing. There's a classic PlayStation intro, which loads before every game. Sound is great on this little device for these little speakers. It really is great. I am currently using the PlayStation Classic USB joystick. The only thing I have a problem with is, I guess, because the RetroPie is kind of upside down, although I think we're connecting to it through a cable. The USB ports are upside down. So if you use the PlayStation Classic controller, what looks to be the memory card, or not the memory card, but the end of the controller is upside down. So I don't know if that bothers you. I'm going to be using my 8-bit do classic wireless controller anyway, so as I can figure out what box it's in. So here's a little crash. Screen's great. It's vibrant, smooth. Sound is great. It's a great little device for $90, plus the cost of a Pi. I mean, not the cost of a Pi now, but pre-chip shortage. It's great. Oops. Like I said, I'm at a weird angle. I can barely see with the camera in the way. All right, let's get out of this. I played full games of NHL on this and didn't have any issues. It was comfortable, enjoyable. Would I rather hook it up to my 72-inch TV? Of course. But, it's a novelty. We're all collectors at heart, so it's just another thing to add to our collection. Let's load up Cyber Sled. I don't know if I've ever played this game, so I don't even know what we have to do. We'll just load it up and give it a quick shot. I have no idea what I'm doing. I guess I have to shoot that other person. If anything, this shows you the smoothness. It's pretty good. All right, let's shut this thing off. We have the safe shutdown script, so there you go. It goes back to the terminal before it then finally shuts itself off. There it is. All right, so let's, that's about it. I'm going to leave you with a preview of my theme, and I hope you guys enjoy it. And Zoop, that's the last game in a plethora of games, 1,700 plus games for this Pistation Retroflag with an LCD that I created. It's a great device. Listen, I'm a firm believer that if it looks like a PlayStation, it should play PlayStation games, but you don't have to follow that rule. You could put Nintendo, Sega, it's a RetroPie. Do whatever you want with it. You don't have to listen to me. It's a 1 terabyte card that fits all the games, so it's going to be a big image. I'll release it one with the ROMs and one without. So if you just want the theme, I'll create a text file of what the game should be named, so everything corresponds with it in the meta tags. Look for it shortly. 2022 is going to be a very busy year. We got a lot of projects in the works. I'm not going to have another hiatus like I had. I promise I'll be back at least once a month. Like, subscribe, and have a good night, everybody.